Well, first question on here, if somebody is struggling to see the supernatural manifestations of God, if somebody's like, I've never really seen the supernatural, I've never seen, I saw an angel at your church, and I was with Jerry Sellers, and he had never seen an angel before. And we saw like a blue, this blue orb, this blue something come right across the stage, hover on the stage, and then took off through the ceiling. And then when I saw it, I was being real quiet, and I heard several people gasp, but I knew that other people had seen it. And so then when I started asking about it, they're like, oh, that's that old blue angel, man. He's around here, you know? And so, like, if somebody is not having a dream or a vision or encounter with King Jesus that is changing everything, how can they lean into that?
Yeah, let me see if I can help out with that. You know,
Okay.
I knew a minister once who met the comedian George Carlin.
Wow.
On an airplane, and he was seated in first class right next to George Carlin.
Wow.
Now, George was a very intentional and intense as to how he would fly. And so he explained to the flight attendant that he would like specific drinks, specific food brought in advance, because once the airplane takes off, he would have his laptop set up and he would be working throughout the duration of the flight, and requested to not be interrupted at any point during the duration of the flight.
Right.
So here's this minister, and he's sitting next to George, and he wants to say something. He wants to say something to George before he starts working. But he doesn't want to be stupid. He doesn't want to just say something stupid. Like, the weather is nice today, is it not? Right. So he thinks for a second, and then he says to George Carlin, he says, hey, I just wanted to say I admire your work. And one of the things that I admire most about your comedy is how you are able to observe the world and the things that you observe. Wow. And how you're able to capture the lightheartedness in everyday observations. And I just wanted to just commend you on that. George Carlin says to him, listen, I see the same things that you see. He says, we all see the same world. We all see, in my own terms here, into the same dimension. So it's not that I see things differently. It's that I know where to store the data. And so the minister says to him, well, what are you talking about? He shows him on his laptop. He's got a file system. And he says, every day I'm taking in observations, things that I find interesting, and then I store it into this file system, and I categorize all the data.
Awesome.
And then when I go to write material, I go back to this file system and I aggregate the data to come up with my material. All right. So what does it have anything to do with people that say that they don't have supernatural experiences? I would say we all look into the same dimensions. It's not a question of whether or not you hear God's voice. It's not a question of whether or not you've ever seen an angel. You have. You hear God's voice every single day. You have seen more angels throughout your life. It would astonish you if you knew all the angels that you have seen. It's not that you're not having supernatural dreams. You are. It's that you're not discerning the realm that you're looking into, and you're not storing the data. People say, I don't remember my dreams. Well, if you started writing your dreams down, you would start remembering them.
Yep.